Hi, Professor. Thank you so much for taking some time to watch this video. I really appreciate it. Without further ado, let's get right into it. For my semester project, I decided to do a comparative analysis between the Sumatra and Great East Japan tsunamis in 2004 and 2011, respectively. Let's get right into it. So the Sumatra and Great East Japan tsunamis, both of these were two of the most destructive natural events to occur during the 21st century. The destruction and the scope, really the range of these natural disasters has very rarely been matched in recorded history. And the damage and effects of these events are still felt today in many of these areas. So today I'm just going to be going over quickly some similarities between their causes, the industrial damages both caused, and then the aftermath of both of these tsunamis. So the Sumatra tsunami of 2004, just some really quick general information. This one occurred off the southeastern coast of India, near the island Sumatra on December 26th, 2004. This was a massive earthquake. It was reported to be a 9.1 magnitude earthquake on the Richter scale. That's just some super general information about it. And then the Great East Japan tsunami of 2011. This one occurred off the eastern coast of Japan on March 11th, 2011. And incidentally, this one was also reported to be an earthquake of 9.1 magnitude. So both of these earthquakes were extremely large, which is why they caused partly so much damage. So some of the causes for the Sumatra tsunami. This tsunami originally was caused by an earthquake, and that earthquake was caused by a subduction between the Indian plate, the Indian tectonic plate, and the Burma microplate. So this red, in this image right here, this red plate is the Indian plate, and then this plate right here is going to be the Burma microplate. The Burma microplate is going over, or the Indian plate is subducting underneath this plate, and the strain between those two plates colliding is what caused the earthquake that ensued the Sumatra tsunami. And then the Great East Japan earthquake was caused by the North American plate and the Pacific plates subducting into each other. The Pacific plate was subducting underneath the North American plate. The strain between these two plates colliding is what caused the earthquake that caused the tsunami on the eastern coast of Japan. So for both of these, they were both caused by subduction between two plates in the ocean near the coastline where these tsunamis hit. As far as industrial damages for the Sumatra earthquake, thousands of structures were destroyed, homes, hotels, beaches, docks, shipyards, anything you can think of really that was on the southeastern coast of not only India, but also the eastern coast of Africa, and many parts of Southeastern Asia were affected by the tsunami. This was one of the most, if not the single most devastating industrial event for this area of the world ever. So yeah, that the industrial damages for the Sumatra tsunami were very, very expensive, very damaging. And then for the Great East Japan earthquake, much of the same, a lot of the same buildings, beaches, hotels, homes were destroyed. In addition to this, unlike the Sumatra earthquake, 3 nuclear power plants in Japan were actually disabled during the tsunami. The most famous of these, the Fukushima Daiichi reactor, was disabled and destroyed. And then this in turn caused a disaster with this nuclear reactor, causing it to be actually the most destructive nuclear disaster since Chernobyl in Russia in 1968. This caused lots of people, in addition to the tsunami displacing people, this nuclear disaster displaced a lot of them as well. So then the aftermath for the Sumatra tsunami, in total, almost 300,000 people were killed by this single tsunami, and close to 2 million were displaced in 14 different countries in the southeastern Asian area, as well as the eastern coast of Africa. Total material losses were estimated at the time, which was in 2004, to be upwards of 10 billion US dollars. So that's structures like homes, hotels, airfields, shipyards, whatever. And then this earthquake actually at the time was the largest earthquake in 40 years, and it did ensue. This tsunami was the most devastating at the time in human history. So the Sumatra tsunami was extremely deadly, very devastating to the Southeastern Asian area. And then the aftermath for the Great Eastern Japan tsunami, a lot less deaths overall because the range of the tsunami was less wide. It was only 20,000 ish people. The official count is not confirmed because so many bodies were missing, but it was somewhere around 20,000. It was around 400 miles of Japanese coastline, which, like I said, was smaller than the Sumatra tsunami. But the Fukushima meltdown, the other nuclear reactors that were disabled because of the tsunami displaced a ton of Japanese people, in addition to the actual flooding that displaced people. And then this earthquake also was one of the most powerful recorded anywhere in the world since records for earthquake has started being kept in 1900. And it was by far the most powerful ever to hit the nation of Japan. So, in conclusion, both of these earthquakes, they were caused by subduction between tectonic plates underneath, for the Sumatra, the Indian Ocean, and then the Great East Japan tsunami, the Pacific Ocean. Subduction between the plates were colliding. One plate slides underneath the other. This tension creates an earthquake, which in turn created both of these tsunamis. They were both still are the most devastating natural disasters for their respective areas. And the damages from both continue to be felt by their respective areas to this day and by the countries that suffered these tsunamis. So that concludes my report my video lecture on these two tsunamis. Thank you so much again for taking some time to watch this video. Here are my sources. I did find all of them through the Folsom Lake Library. So you should, if you want to, be able to go back and find all of these. There are my citations. Again, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great night.